Hey, welcome back, everybody. It's time for another episode of the Tomii Healing and Wellness Show. One show, the only show that shows you some alternative paths to getting healthy. And today, boy, I hope you got your pen and paper out, because we've got some experts here today to talk about the whole idea of alternative health as practiced through massage and acupressure and all those things. And with us today is, see if I get all these credentials right, Cynthia Ribeiro. Did I sort of get that right?
That's
all right.
excellent.
It's Portuguese, right?
Yes.
All right. And you've done a lot over the years here. Let's see if I got some of this correct here. You're the past national president of the American Massage Therapy Association, the largest therapy association, the one run by the massage therapists themselves. There are other organizations out representing that world, but this is the biggest one.
Yep.
And you created, we'll call you the creator, the founder of this advanced neuromuscular program that has been adopted by the National Holistic Institute and their 10 campuses here in California. That's a lot. You spent your whole life in massage. How the world did you get started studying this and practicing this?
Well, I love people. And the idea of being able to put all my professions together, physical education and a surgical nurse, because I wanted to learn more about the body, open but alive, besides just cadavers, which, by the way, is very, very helpful. And then
that's a good point, because doctors just study dead bodies here when they're going to school. It may not be what we want to end up as, a cadaver here. All right.
So then I moved to the United States from Brazil, and I attended my first massage school in 1986. And then I came down south, and I opened my school. I studied in another school. And then in 1994, I opened the Western Institute of Neuromuscular Therapy, with 1,000 hours in-class hours, which was unknown in California South. Normally, the education was about 300.
Because many people think massage therapy is just something, I learn in a couple hours, and there isn't that much to it, and it's just making you feel good and relaxing the tension and finding the knots. That's what you call the 80% rule, right? 80% of the people
the
are
tsunami way. Correct. I mean, the massage profession has changed a lot in the past 30-so years. We created a minimum standards of education of at least 500 hours, and within that, looking at the subjects within that training. And we have a variety of Eastern and Western medicine, and integrative is the term that we like to use, integrative medicine.
It really is. And you say you had something to do with, or you were a consultant or helped work with the new, we're at UCI's Applied Innovation Center right down the street on campus is the new
Samueli.
Susan Samueli, the wife of the billionaire Henry Samueli here. Who started Broadcom. She apparently is a I've never talked to her, but apparently she's a big believer in this East meets West integrative approach. We've had Dr. Kiki Wee from UCLA on, who teaches medicine at UCLA and also runs their integrative medicine program. Why is this suddenly integrating East meets West? Why is that suddenly becoming popular?
The history behind that is in 2002, the federal government put all of us together, Western and integrative medicines, and we created some groups of people to work together. I was involved with UCI in the end of 90s with Dr. Najim, and I ended up
the founder of that.
The founder. He and I, he brought me to teach in front of all the professors and so forth. It was very interesting. One of them, the main professor, which I didn't know, asked me, "Well, when do you believe touch start?" Everybody got quiet. I yell at him. I go, "Did you feel it?" And then they said to me he was the head of all of them, and I was like, and I got the job.
But for many years, most of my life, I'm in my late 60s here, most of my life, East never met West. Eastern philosophy of there's a meridian of energy flowing through your body that's been mapped over hundreds of years, and find the blockages and release the blockage, and the body has tremendous power to heal itself. The energy will flow, whether it's acupuncture, where you're trying to direct the energy there, or acupressure, you're trying to release the tension, the knots, the blocks. That was an idea that was not well accepted still isn't to some degree in
Well,
Western science, because where's this meridian? I don't see this energy.
correct, which is the part that it brings me to tell you about me meeting Dr. Chang.
Yes, exactly. Let's bring in Dr. Chen, who's quietly sitting here listening to all this, right?
In 2012, I was the national president of the AMTA, and we had a meeting in
That's
San
the American
Diego.
Massage Therapy here. We have to keep.
Yes.
Yeah, I joined the conference, the American Massage Therapy Association conference in San Diego, 2012.
Yes.
And I meet Cynthia.
And were there a lot of people practicing what we'll call traditional Chinese medicine, acupressure, acupuncture? Were there people of those kind of practitioners in the American Massage Therapy, or were they two different groups?
Well, we have a lot of massage therapists, our members, who also do Eastern Oriental medicine.
Right.
But we have an association for Eastern Oriental medicine in the country, and also here in California.
Okay.
And so, as a matter of fact, the professions that got together since 2002 was Eastern Oriental medicine, massage therapy, chiropractic, naturopaths, and doulas. And so those are
What's a doula? I've heard that term before.
the individuals, they have two different types of trainings. Midwifery.
Yes,
That's what this
it,
is
right.
all about. And so doula is a portion of that, but midwifery has a little bit more education. So we all got together working with the doctors, and that's how we change alternative to integrative in the federal government.
So not something different, but together.
Correct, but
Right.
together. Because there's value in all of it.
Yeah.
And what I like about Dr. Chang and the Tomii Healing and wellness is part of health. And what he did with the Eastern Oriental medicine by creating the instrument, measuring the meridians and the chi, is it creates it to have more validity and be a evidence-based approach,
And
which
that was the problem, still is the problem for many with Eastern medicine. If you go on Wikipedia or something, you say, well, there's no evidence base for this. More and more studies have been done about acupuncture. I don't know why that, over acupressure, as a pain relief, as other sorts of things. There's more and more exceptions to that. I think you can even get that covered in most medical plans and stuff.
Yeah.
It's a pain, but strictly as a minor kind of pain relief. It's not a part of a holistic approach to health here.
Yeah, but that's the part that I really like about us integrating what I do and what he does, because I study with a physician, Dr. Jeanette Travell, in neuromuscular reeducation, trigger point. I study a lot about fascia release. So
Fascia release.
Yes.
So that's what releasing the.
Well, the fascia release, there's adhesions, right? So and the idea of creating a knot. And so, how do we want to do
We're
that?
gonna keep you leaning in there. You're leaning back now.
What causes? What causes the knot? Right.
Right.
So the cause varies from person to person. So for me, holistic is seeing the person in front of us and their needs, and be able to apply many tools.
Right.
One of the tools is Eastern Oriental medicine. The
Right.
other tool is neuromuscular reeducation. Then myofascial release. Then we can do acupressure, acupuncture. We can do chiropractic. We can
Yeah.
do strengthening and conditioning, because we are one. So we, as a team-based approach of care, patient-centered is the direction that healthcare is going. And it's very important for us to have the knowledge base to be able to communicate with each other and understand. So what is a wellness clinic?
Right.
Well, it is only considered a team-based approach of care if the healthcare providers of that clinic meet to talk with the patient together to create a plan together. So today you're going to see Dr. Chang, then you're going to see Cynthia, then you're going to see the chiropractor, then we're finding a captain for that team, right?
And herbs or nutrition or other sorts of things.
And general practitioners.
Yes.
So because all of us, so that is the direction that we've been trying to go for many, many years now.
Well,
I had dark hair when we started.
That's yeah, we all did. So it seems like the particularly doctors who call themselves naturopaths, which is a natural approach, not using just pills to cover up or mask something here. There's still regular MDs, but they try and find a more natural approach to relief.
A naturopath is not necessarily a MD, but
Okay.
but an osteopath, yes. And it's interesting because here in California, we have osteopaths, but they are general practitioners, and we don't have a license for osteopaths. So
Yeah.
you have to search for the osteopaths.
And where I
who
grew up
are
in
MDs.
Michigan, an osteopath was considered another kind of kook or crazy, or
Yes.
you know, you wouldn't go to an osteopath. But
Correct.
right here, there's an osteopathic school out in, I think, Whittier or
In
something. here.
Pomona.
Pomona, yeah.
Yeah. I went to visit because I'm curious.
Yeah. So yeah, it seems like finally, after all these years of everybody saying, no, I do this and this is the path, this is the answer. No, this is the path, this is the answer. I have an Eastern approach. No, I have a strictly Western approach. I have a set of skills and a set of tools available to me, and that solves everything. It doesn't solve everything.
No, Paul, because the goal is not take the word I and start talking them, their needs, the person in front of you, holistic.
Rather than what I know, what they need,
exactly.
yeah.
No, I don't. I need to understand what they need by doing an intake and having a conversation, and then communicating in collaboration, signing all the HIPAA laws and so forth,
Right.
and engaging more healthcare providers, which is like today I'm very excited because I got injured and Dr. Chain, he just did for me, Dr.
You said you hit your head or something.
Yeah,
something
yeah,
serious, right?
yeah. And it matches with things I'm finding out on the Western side. And so I combine everybody. Why? Because I'm not a scientist. I don't need to prove. I need to get better.
I love that. So that fits with, I'm an aging baby boomer, you know, sort of an
Yes.
old hippie a little here. And I look at people my age, and we will go to Western doctors. If I have broken my leg, if I need a heart transplant, clearly I'm going to go get the best.
Yes.
And that's a powerful service. But if I got a chronic condition, an ache, a pain, my stomach, my head, my arm, my leg, it won't go away, I can't sleep, I'm anxious, I'm nervous. Western medicine doesn't have many answers in their toolbox. It really only comes down to, in my opinion, a pill or a procedure. We'll give you a pill to cover it up, it doesn't cure it, but it'll mask it. Or if it's serious enough, then maybe we got to, go in and do surgery. My late mother, who had Parkinson's, and before that she had other sorts of chronic conditions, and everybody just kind of said, there's nothing we can do. We can help sedate you, or we can, and at some point they tried wild things, invasive surgery into her brain to try and stimulate something. None of that really worked. And in the end, my parents, who were very Midwestern, the last thing they would try is some crazy Chinese thing here. They tried acupuncture and other sorts of things, and they were so open because they're desperate. Nobody had an answer for these chronic pains and conditions, fibromyalgia, all sorts of other conditions like this today.
Correct, which is a suggestion I have if you are working with Western medicine is to make certain you work with physicians that work with athletes, because their role, their mind goes about prevention. I surrounded myself with doctors that work in integrative medicine, because that is the present and the future.
Yes.
And in a way is being part of the past, but more in how you were explaining, Paul, which is not, the change is here, it's happening now, and there's a lot of people there are kind of slow on coming on
Adopting.
board, on adopting.
Well, because
coming on board.
doctors were trained in a certain procedure, and they may or may not believe or be open to other ideas, but more and more the patients are saying, I get what you're saying. For certain things, this is absolutely what I need, but maybe I need some nutrition. Maybe I need some yoga and some mind release. You talked about pain in a way I'd never heard it said before. I think I wrote this down right. You said pain is really three things. We think of pain as just a tangible. I touch it. Ow, it hurts there. My knee, my stomach, my eye, my head. You said it's partly biological in your body, partly psycho, partly in your head, and partly social. Explain that. Pain. I never thought of pain as having three dimensions.
The latest research about pain in the world talks about that pain is biopsychosocial. In the 1600s with Descartes, we decided that pain was...
You're the first person who ever brought Descartes up in a conversation here in 15 years of me doing podcasts. All right, so go look up Descartes, Descartes. Go look up Descartes.
Yeah, so he decided, at that point they decided that pain was an input of the body into the brain. And for the past 7 to 10 years, the new studies are proving that pain is an output of the brain into the body.
Okay,
So
let me stop you there, because one of the whole reasons we're inundated these days with things like fentanyl and other things.
Opioid.
Opioids, yes, that's the word I was looking for. An opioid basically doesn't get rid of the pain, but it blocks the connection between the brain and the pain, right?
Yeah.
The pain is still there, but the brain doesn't feel it.
Correct. And so we literally, our association, the AMTA, and many like NHI, the National Holistic Institute, and Tomii Healing Wellness Center, we are working with the idea of seeing the person as a whole to create the prevention and the approach that connects all of us with the patient in the middle. Now, do you mind repeating, Paul, a little bit?
Well, I'm just so you
the
can make
biopsychosocial.
you're making the point. We're still in that kind of
Correct.
psychos
Correct.
part of it, the connection between the brain and the pain. So is the
Correct.
brain telling the body it hurts,
Yeah.
or is the body telling the brain it hurts? And is the only Western approach is then we'll sever that connection with the drug.
Correct.
The pain is still there. The problems, your knee's still broken. Your stomach's still upset, but you won't feel it.
So, yeah, that's why we end up nowadays, the individuals in soft tissue manipulation are known as the non-pharmacological approach for pain.
Say that again. You said it.
Non-pharmacological approach for pain.
No pharmacy
No
involved.
pharmacy involved.
Right.
And if pharmacy is involved, we are in collaboration with the doctor, because throughout the years in being a clinician, it's very clear to me that the amount of medication they were taking diminished. And obviously, I didn't tell them to do so. In collaboration, we did that in a safe manner, which is also very important. The physicians have a responsibility to learn about the non-intrusive methodologies, and people like myself and Dr. Leiter,
More than pills and procedures where they just cut into you?
which
or
is
they-
which is why I got involved with UCI Samueli Center as an adjunct professor in the 90s, and with Dr. Najim, and started the holistic
So
center.
this is real. This is because so many times I tell to people, because I full disclosure, I go to Dr. Chen. And when
That's wonderful.
And when I first went to him, I said, I don't know if I believe this, but I've got this. I had a lung nodule. They diagnosed a little pimple in my lung, and it hurt like hell sometimes when it get aggravated. And I felt like I was having a heart attack. And so they did a CAT scan. They said, well, what do? We cut this thing out? I said, no, we can't go into your lung and cut this thing out. That's really hard. So just live with it. And you can sedate it. You can take something, an opioid or something if it gets bad, a painkiller. But no, it's going to be a pain that you're going to have the rest of your life. And I went to Dr. Chen and under recommendation, and he said, what's wrong with you? I said, you tell me, you're the doctor. I was playing very hard to get. And he said, all right, let me do this analysis. She puts this little magic wand, these little sensors, this unique thing he's developed, this scientific approach to traditional healing. I'm not just going to look under your tongue or at your eye and kind of guess. I'm going to come up with a real reading of your energy. I didn't know anybody could do that. I'm still not sure anybody could do that other than him. And so he comes and he says, well, there's something wrong with your lung. I said, how did you know that?
See?
And he's like, right there. Well, your thing's off. And so through working on that, and the
We
other,
work on the lung meridian.
You work on the lung meridian,
and the two
right?
things that's caught my attention and made me keep coming back is, one, it made it feel better, and it reduced the inflammation. And two, I hate to say it, but it even kind of shrunk the little tumor. The last time I went in,
Yeah.
it wasn't as big as it had been. Didn't
This-
go away, but it's smaller.
It
Didn't
is.
get bigger.
When a treatment is done appropriately with the tool that you need, it makes a difference. As you're telling me your story, we have Dr. Travell, we named a muscle, pectoralis major, as the heart attack muscle, the sensation of that pain in the chest and so
Pectoral,
forth.
your pecs.
Yeah, the
right.
pectoralis major. And so the nickname is the heart attack muscle.
Right.
Heart
Yeah,
attack muscle.
the heart attack
Heart
muscle.
meridian, maybe.
You feel like you're having
the
a heart attack because
meridian,
it's
if it- but also it communicates with the lung part. So that's why I truly believe, and I believe, Doc, you're the only one who created that system.
Yeah.
I've never heard about it. I
Correct.
heard
And-
somebody maybe in Taiwan, Kiki Wee thought there was somebody working on something similar, but this idea that you can measure the unmeasurable, that this is why Western medicine still says it's not science-based. There is hundreds of years of anecdotal stories, and patients who swear and claim it helped, all these Eastern approaches, but they can't find the energy. Dr. Chi, talk about that for a second. How did you find the energy? I know you were I know you were a sensor scientist in years in China, but how did you find this? It must be really minute. It must be really small.
We use the combination, the remote sensor technology, to detect the manual currents, the changes along the meridian. So we use the software to AI system to detect and map out the chi flow.
And then once you see these variations, you got to know what they mean. What does this little slight variation do?
Is the over excess or deficiency? Is it balance, up and down balance, or no balance, yin and yang balance, or no balance, left right balance?
How many
no
years
balance?
did it take you to do this? I know you said it before.
We take about more than 10 years to develop the system. And
this simple little wand that you wave that's connected to a computer software that detects these minor variations in your body current. We all know there's a current in your body. You can feel it sometimes, not just...
for sure.
You know there's a little bit of current going through your body here. I don't know why or how, but there is. That's not a fact people argue with, but it's a question of, is that current related to an energy flowing through your body, and is there validity in the meridians? You think there is, sounds like.
Yes, meridian connection with your internal organ, heart, liver, kidney, with your hand and leg. So we detect on the hand and the leg, we can find out what's going on inside. Mm-hmm. And also, based on our find the blockage and the imbalance, or we use the acupressure and to work on your hand and the leg.
And this could be acupuncture too, but you prefer acupressure because it's non-invasive.
Yes, the system is the safely, naturally,
correct,
effectively, without invasive procedure, without side effect. It's
correct.
Sticking a needle in your body.
Correct.
Right? What do you think, Cynthia?
Well,
I really asked a question for both of you. Is there validity to this idea of meridians and energy flowing through your body?
There is for sure validity, and it is a tangible. He made it more tangible, no doubts about it. And the same, in a way, is for my profession. The reason I create continuing education programs is because there's a lot of lack of research in the massage therapy profession.
Tons.
But
and I'm sorry to say, many people laugh at massage. Oh, it's just...
Oh, don't be sorry. You're talking to a pro.
Yeah, and some people think it's just in the back room. Oh, yeah, I'm going to get a massage.
Correct.
Yeah, right,
That is exactly why I open a 1,000 hours in-class hour program. And if you see me walking around, you know that this is not
a bunch of pretty girls in the back and a bikini massaging your body.
Yeah, that wouldn't be a good idea. It's not professional. You are in the wrong. You're searching for another result.
Another result,
which is very different than what I do.
It might be healing, but it's.
It might be healing. Well, there is a validity on everything in life, right? Okay. In the appropriate place, in the appropriate time.
I guess.
So in neuromuscular reeducation, for you to have an idea, until now they haven't proven how the referral pain happens. For example, the rotator cuff can mimic lateral epicondylitis. So all the
you're saying this so quickly because the rotator cuff
rotator cuff, which is the muscles of the shoulder plus the scalings, refer pain into the arm, mimicking a lateral epicondylitis, mimicking carpal tunnel, and the condition is not there. So
it might feel like you have carpal tunnel in your hand, but it's really up in your neck, or
it could be coming from your neck. It could be coming from the pronator teres, a muscle on your arm. It could, and it could, and it could. And the meridian could be also blocked because the body is energy. Yeah. The body is energy.
And that's a good point. That this is one other tool. You could literally have a pinched neck or something there, in which case you need something else. But the meridian energy could be helping that release or feel better too. I mean, they could all work in combination with each other.
Working in combination. So as soon as Dr. Lai was explaining about you and you're sharing about what happened, I immediately went to certain areas of the body that could help, but I need to have a better conversation with you, get to know a little bit things that you've done in your life, but not only physically, emotionally, because pain is acknowledged by the brain. And why does it go chronic? Because it creates an imprint in the brain, which is why the latest research is saying that the pain comes from the brain into the body, right? And
So it might not be there anymore, but the body's still programmed
receiving,
to.
yeah, the brain is programmed to believe on that, and so there is a re-education that needs to happen with the approach of Eastern, Western, North and South Pole for that matter, Paul.
Yeah,
I like
right.
to say every tool that I can find that can help you, because it's not about me.
And what's
So,
the social aspect? You talk
the
biological.
social aspect is the environment that the individual works, the family. Do they have proper support at home?
Stress,
are they lonely?
sleep, yeah.
Stress, but nutritional stress, perpetuating factors like a lower leg length discrepancy. So everything
Lower leg length discrepancy. One leg's lower than the other.
Oh no, one leg is shorter than the other,
other shorter.
and that can create a misalignment. You
Yeah.
can have
That's when you got to go to a chiropractor because they want to realign your bones, or an
if it is-
osteopath, or
Yes, but if it is functional, a soft tissue will do it. And when that happens, there is also affecting the meridians, which is why team-based approach of care, patient-centered.
team.
Team is a team.
Why have we resisted it? And nobody, the teams didn't want to come together. Western says, I got these two things, the rest of it's hooey. The rest of it's phony. It's witchcraft. It's voodoo. The Eastern approach said, we don't have to prove anything to you. We've been doing it for 1,000 years. So if you don't like it, tough luck. And there wasn't much integration into the Western approach. And then all these other parallel things, chiropractors, osteopaths, other sorts of things that all have some sort of manipulation of the bones and the structure and the muscles. And everything.
Well, not a pun intended, but I manipulated my life, my professional life, in living among integrative medicine. And so I know a lot of Western medicine that believes in Eastern, believes in what I do, and we work in collaboration for the betterment of the patient, for better wellness.
So you're the
and better
OG.
healing.
You're the original gangster. You're the original person that got everybody together here. Okay. All right. One other thing in that, because we're running out of time here. Here's one of the things that shocks me about both massage and about Eastern, whatever you want to call it, Oriental medicine. It starts with, where does it hurt? And then you come to you say, here's my problem. I got this. And then they start saying, well, let's see if we can massage and do this. As opposed to you saying, all right, I hear what you're saying, but it may be a result of something else. Like you're saying, you think you have carpal tunnel in your hand or your wrist. It may be really up in your neck that's causing this.
That's why I don't do what you just described. I do the opposite. I sit with the patient, I communicate, I ask about what is going on in their lives. I do physical assessment, but I do the conversation tells me a lot, their mannerisms, how they are referring to their bodies, how they are referring to their life, the level of stress, everything counts. And then I utilize everything that I learn about the body, and I might collaborate because I only have an iometer. I don't have right? I only have an iometer. So I need to be able to communicate with and understand more. So then I'm going to collaborate with Dr. Chain. I'm going to collaborate with ortho. I might collaborate with a physical therapist, a naturopath, an osteopath. And it's very, very important. Athletic trainers, physical therapists, psychologists, pain, nutritionists, no doubts about it. And so I think it's very important that we understand that working alone in a silo is not the pathway of health.
You're only using with one or two tools. Dr. Chen has a tool that he developed, a very unique tool that measures the immeasurable chi energy flowing through your body, and then ties it to some software that then interprets that and tells you where this energy flow is bad or blocked. That is one tool. I don't know why everybody who practices acupuncture, acupressure wouldn't want another scientific reading rather than guessing or asking questions. Where does it hurt? And observationally trying to figure it out. This is an additional tool.
This tool will empower the massage therapist, deliver the extra benefit for their clients.
Because you got one more actual. We're West. That was what impressed me with Dr. Chen when I found his background. He really was a Western style scientist who didn't believe in traditional medicine he grew up with, until he didn't get the answer to his own diabetes and had to go back to his own roots and say, maybe there is help in this, and found help by going to some traditional healers, and then said, well, why can't we bring the two together? Why can't we measure this? Why can't we monitor this? Why can't we come up with a quicker reading of your body's energy without guesswork?
Which I think that's why the universe put the two of us together.
I think it is. We
I'm
got two
telling you,
OGs
because
here.
we're gonna really create methodologies that is understandable for everybody, for the Western and the Eastern, and for soft tissue therapists. It doesn't have to be limited to only massage therapists. There's chiropractors do soft tissue, physical therapists, physical therapy assistants.
I would think a chiropractor is more hard to the bones and stuff.
Well,
here.
they have
Realign-
about 250 modalities. We have many modalities
Okay.
involved. And
a massage person is obviously trying to massage the soft
no,
tissue.
I'm
or-
actually going to communicate with you, understand you first, and then figure out where the pain is coming from, how it happened, and why it happened.
And what is the
which
best
much
way to
more than
fix it?
just,
Yeah.
and so it's not just going, oh, you point to your knee and I'm going to massage your knee. I'm going to ask about your lower back. I'm going to ask about the condition of your spine.
And isn't it better even for a Western doctor to have those modalities available, those treatments, those techniques, that knowledge? Because otherwise the Western doctor says, your knee hurts, take this pill.
Yeah, that's
It
why.
still hurts,
Well,
but I'm just going to block the pain from going to your brain, or maybe the reverse, the brain going to the leg here.
When I did that conference for the professors at UCI and the medical school, I was asked that question. So why not a pill? I go, because a pill, the person gets sleepy. A pill created, unfortunately, as we see the opioid abuse in the world
Addiction,
and so forth. And so that is now they're no longer doing much of the opioids. They're doing more gabapentin and things. They're doing other approaches, and they're being mandated by the federal government.
Yeah, because
to work
Purdue
with
and the other
us.
big pharmacies that got sued for billions of dollars
Yeah.
here, they were passing these out like candy and telling the doctors there's no side effect.
Correct.
We're just going to block the pain. Quit worrying about what's causing the pain. Let's just block it.
Which is why now they cannot get the people who got with the opioid. Now they cannot get it anymore. That's why the fentanyl and the people, unfortunately losing their lives and stuff like that. That's why our association, people like myself, people like Leiter, we work together to take you away from that pathway. And hopefully we'll get there soon enough.
Get to
That's
the real
goal.
problem. Don't just cover it up and hide it. Let's
correct.
figure out how to fix it. Your body's trying to
Exactly.
tell you something
Which
here.
is why our mission is going to be not only educate soft tissue specialists, we need to educate other healthcare providers
Yes.
in general about
Naturopaths, chiropractors,
yes, everybody.
traditional Western MDs and everything.
And like I said, thank goodness we have associations and people already doing that job. We have a representation with the federal government from the American Massage Therapy Association for legislations. Massage therapy is being covered by Medicaid, Medicare throughout the country.
I've seen a big change. When I was a kid,
Yeah.
massage was everybody would wink and so, yeah, you're going to go get. My dad would never get a massage. I would
Oh.
never get a massage,
Yeah.
nor would I ever go get acupuncture, acupressure, or any of these things, or even go to a chiropractor or anything. But that world has changed, and we've begun to realize there's value if it's done properly and done right.
Correct.
And it's part of an overall holistic, whole body approach
Correct.
to finding the problem and fixing it, not just trying to cover it up.
Correct.
Or cut it out.
Improve the quality of life for sure if it is a condition that there is a perpetuating factor. But no matter what, the result is to betterment of your life.
Yeah, and if you can't
as a-
cure it, then at least control it or help it or
Exactly.
assist it or whatever. Yeah.
And a suggestion I have for everybody is work in collaboration.
Yes.
And we like as foreigners. You should see us communicating with each other.
Yeah, Chinese and Brazilian together here. You're changing the world here.
Life changing.
Life changing, yes. And
Well,
very, very exciting.
it has opened my eyes, and that's why we do this program, because there are more than one path to health. It is more. I take nothing away from the immense strides that Western medicine has made, the machinery, the surgeries, the techniques. Clearly great benefit, but it ain't all, and not for the chronic conditions, the things that the low hanging problems that face us: sleep, stomach ache, pain, diabetes, cholesterol. I can
Yes.
go on and on and on. These things, all they want to have, the only procedure they got, the only modality they have to treat that is to try and cover it up or chemically change it here.
Correct.
And I don't think that's always the answer or the best answer. I know I and everybody I know is hesitant to take pills. We worry about too many pills.
Yeah.
My mother, at the end of her life with Parkinson's, she was like a zombie. She took so many pills and so many things. She was drugged out. Really.
Yeah, that interesting you say that because my mom had Parkinson's also.
Oh.
And on the end, I actually brought her here, and they put a control on the medulla to change the trembling for numbness and tingling, and they did a psychological test and so forth. It helped her, so for about a month, and then I lost mom. But
Well, I'm for it. If you watch me long enough, I'm headed in that direction. I have shaking hands already here.
Yeah,
and stuff
but
there.
it could be intentional tremor, so we don't
Yes,
know,
right, exactly,
So,
'cause
so
it's
that's the
Parkinson's is observational. They really
Yeah.
there's no test for it. It's,
Exactly.
If you shake enough, then but
Yeah.
it could be other things like they call
The
it
intention.
familiar tremor. I had it
yes,
most of my
yes,
life. Yeah.
exactly.
Well, this is fascinating. I hope people are paying attention to this because there are other choices, other alternatives, and they're not just out in the weird, wacky things. They are being integrated together at places like UCI and UCLA. All these different professions are coming together through the people like on the show today here, and they're starting to say, can't we learn from something? Can't we use more than one tool to get a whole approach and see if we can't really come up with it, if not a cure, a better way to control or deal with these problems.
Yeah, National Institute of Health, NIH, works with us. Yeah, the Duke University, Georgetown, Mayo Clinic. Anyway, I absolutely love being here.
Stay back, hear more, because that's what's been missing for too many people. Is this real, or is this just another voodoo science or something here? I think it's time I think we're all ready to look at other alternatives, and I thank you for coming in and shedding a light on not just the other alternatives out there, but the real collaboration, cooperation that is taking place in more and more universities and health centers and from the highest levels on down, where people are starting to work together. Thank you so much for joining us. Dr. Chen, how do they reach you if they want to learn about your modality, Tomii Healing, this meridian energy system that you've developed where you measure it and then
Tomii.us, Tomii.us, or 714-998-0128. We have helped thousands of clients achieve the measurable and sustainable health result.
There you go.
And we are
Isn't
ready
that what it's
to
all
help
about,
you.
Cynthia? Measurable and sustainable.
Correct.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much for joining us here today here on this show.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, there you have it. One more reason to tune in each and every time to learn about what's out there. If you've got a chronic condition or someone you know and you're not finding any cure, any answers, there are other alternatives you can try. And more, they're being integrated together into one whole approach, one team approach to finding and helping relieve the pain and problems that so many of us are suffering with in this modern life. Thank you for joining us as we continue our conversation here on the Tomii Healing and Wellness Show, streaming live from the University of California, Irvine's Beale Applied Innovation Center. Boy, that's what's needed. Boy, that was a really great conversation. I was trying to keep up with you here. You're throwing all these things out so quickly.